up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks, because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And it is another Monday. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope everything went well. Thank you guys for pulling up, as always. I appreciate it, okay? It has been a trying weekend for me and a trying week. I am exhausted. I cannot tell you how exhausted I am, you guys. Like, exhausted. Okay. It's been a trying week. But what's up to everybody in the chat? I appreciate you guys for pulling up. All right. I see all my faves in the chat. I see you guys. Thank you so much for pulling up. Donna, True Patriot, Sugar Shane, everybody. Thank you so much. Nick J. I see you, your car, as always. I see you. Yeah, you guys, it has been a trying week. What's that? Scun JT. What's going on? Yeah, it's been a trying week. Carol, what's going on? The weekend was just busy. You guys, the weekend was so busy, and I just been watching like everything that's been coming out these past days. All right. And then on top of that, you know, I had to move some stuff around in my space here, you know, so I'm messing with the lighting. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, it's just been trying, child. And I've just been tired. But we are here and we are ready to go. How has you guys' weekends been? And I want to give a shout out to John Alexander. John Alexander, for the $5 super chat. As soon as we start, yes, exhausting but still amazing. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. Yep. That's how it is. It's the time to be alive. But I was tired. I'm not gonna lie. I passed out like twice this weekend, because it's just been like so much going on. And I'm really trying to take this platform to the next level. So I am out here just like, I got to get this. I got to get that. I got to get this. I got to get that. You know what I mean? Yep. So y'all know what I mean in the chat. So thank you, John Alexander. I appreciate you for the early super chat. It's Monday. We're going to get into it. How are you guys feeling about everything that's going on? What's up, everybody that's pulling up in the chat? I see you. How are you guys feeling about everything that's going on right now in politics, in pop culture? Okay. Now, I know we don't get into gossip a lot, but it's just so much going on just everywhere. It doesn't matter like where you go. Like if you're in entertainment, if you're in politics, it's all the same. They're all doing the same nonsense. It's wild out here. It's absolutely wild. But yeah. I see you guys. Y'all weekends was good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I try, even when I'm tired. I think it's Ead God. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys, let's go ahead and get into these shots really quick. All right. And if you guys are new to the show, shots is the way we pour it up, just about, you know, short stories, things I just want to throw at you because I've seen it and I think that you guys should know about it. You can research it a little more, but nevertheless, here we go. Hold up. Before we get into shots, hold up. It was a great weekend for y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. From a bag chaser, we appreciate all your hard work you're putting in, Mika. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Yep, I'm definite, and this going to the Red Cup Fund right here, because I am working on some stuff. I have a lot of people that are like hitting me up to do interviews and, to talk. I mean, politicians, different celebrities that are getting into politics or have podcasts and talk about things. I'm gonna be doing other things. Like, it's just so much going on, and I want to provide the best stuff for you guys, the best entertainment, the best value. And so I'm really, really working on it. So I definitely appreciate that. I'm trying to get my Megyn Kelly on. Okay. I'm trying to get my PBD podcast on. All right. I'm trying to be just like I'm trying to get my Anton Daniels on. Y'all know who that is. Okay. I'm trying to get like that. All right. And it's because, I want to bring the best value to you guys. So thank you, Yakar. And also thank you, John. Okay. You guys, awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's get in. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, that's what I'm trying to do. Let's get into it. Here we go. Y'all not right. Now y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, you guys. I want to get into this first because I can't stand liberals, and not because of people, because I love all humans. But the thing about it is they act oblivious to what's going on, right? Are conservatives right all the time? No, absolutely not. Okay. But liberals act oblivious to what's going on, right? And by them acting oblivious to it, they cause so much damage for everybody else, including themselves. Okay. California is a prime example. I mean, the Republicans they're living out further, but the Democrats, they live in the mess because of how they vote. Okay. But I thought this man on the street was definitely an eye opener, because it shows you, even when you give these libs logic, it just goes into oblivion. All right. Because you can't make this stuff up. Let's get into this. Here we go.
Let me ask you a question. If you're an illegal immigrant, but you haven't murdered or raped or brought in drugs, the promise for this administration was that only the people that committed a crime would be ripped off the street. Do you approve of masked ICE people pulling anybody off of the street?
We do.
If they were only going after people that had a criminal history, doesn't that just reward the action of crossing into the country illegally and incentivize more?
No, I think that's a trick question.
So I really could give a crap less about the people that are coming in. They're here. They're helping our economy. They're our friends. They're our neighbors. I think what's happening is absolutely disgusting and outrageous. So it's not America.
I'm sorry, you talking about like the deportations, or what are you talking about?
Absolutely, the deportations. The deportations that are happening without due process. The deportations that are happening to people that are not criminals.
Rounding up citizens and just send them out. That's kind of the bad part of it.
I'm sorry, did you say citizens?
Yeah, citizens that are being deported. So
have you heard about that too? Citizens being deported?
Yes. Yeah, we did hear about citizens.
Now, I know we're not ChatGPT, but do you guys know who is a citizen that was deported by Customs and Border Protection or ICE?
We don't know.
Well, I don't know any, but that's what I see in the news.
It appears that a lot of people are being taken in by ICE that are not convicted felons.
They're American citizens. They're taking children. They're yanking children on the way to school. That's not our country.
Like just solo children? They're yanking children away?
Well, we've seen it.
We've seen it.
But we don't have any first-hand knowledge of it.
So you've seen it personally?
No. We have no first-hand knowledge.
You guys mind if I ask what news you're watching mostly? I know there's different range of news. What news do you guys watch mostly?
Channel 5, Channel 4, Channel 7.
Yeah, I can tell you everything but Fox.
What we see is what we see on TV, what we read in the paper, or what we...
So do we have evidence to back up that claim? Because that's a big claim. Do we have evidence to back up that claim?
Other witnesses. Well, I
have
can't.
none.
I mean, I can't cite it for you.
We're not all ChatGPT, but if we were to look it up, would we find that a child was just removed without the parents and dropped off somewhere in Mexico?
Mm-hmm. No,
we really
they're
have
not
to
going to Mexico. They're sending them to Sudan and these other countries. I mean, what is this about?
I've heard about that for the MS-13 gang member. Drug trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking, record-breaking profits for cartels.
It's not coming from immigrants.
So
it's coming from American citizens.
I was talking about the cartels when it comes to...
What cartels? Are we being affected by any cartels here in America? Have you been personally affected by a cartel?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to cartels, the people that are entering the country illegally pay cartels for entry. So you're not really getting through the southern border unless you pay cartels. So the cartels, they actually saw record profits over the last 4 years. Do you think that this number is worse than this one, given that this is record-breaking basically everything? What do you think?
I think that the numbers that are being shown are not right. I think that most of the numbers that are being shown by Fox News.
Where do those numbers come from?
Customs and Border Protection under Biden's administration.
And that came underneath Biden's administration?
Yes, it did. So now you guys see what I'm saying, right? So when you tell them, hey, these are Biden's numbers, okay? Don't even use anything with Trump. Always go to Barry, aka Obama, or always go to Sleepy Joe and Kamala, okay? Always use their numbers, all right? And when you use their numbers, they go, are you sure? Are you sure that's right? Like, I don't see it. Like, I don't see it. You can't make it up. Liberals refuse. They refuse to believe it. And the lady that happens to say, you know, there's no cartels, ma'am, how do you think the illegals are getting over here? Okay. And I mean, they're sending babies. You know, there's a 4-year-old that I followed. Okay. And I followed her all the way up until she got here. And there were others like me that followed her. And the crazy part about it is when News Nation called the mother once she got here, the mother said, oh, you know, I had no choice, all of this and that. News Nation followed up. Tell me why they cannot find that girl. And it's because I guarantee you that was not her mother. That sponsor that they're just sending these children with, that was not her mother. And this is the problem, okay? They swear they care about these people so much that they don't even care enough to actually go and check on what's happening with them. Okay, you want them over here. Why aren't you checking on what's happening with them? They don't care. They don't care. Kids going anywhere, you know, being sold all types of ways, going here, going there. They don't care. They absolutely don't. So I wanted to put you up on that because you guys, this is what we're dealing with, okay? When I say this is what we're dealing with, this is what we're dealing with. So I also want to get into some breaking news about Pam Bondi, okay? Now, Pam Bondi happens to have one of the, you know, unfortunately, one of the jobs that, you know, Trump is going to call on and demand for her to do this and that. Well, people are coming for her neck and there's a hit out on her. All right. So I want to get into that really quick.
All right, breaking news, top of a new hour here, and another threat of political violence in America. The FBI making an arrest in a chilling murder for hire plot targeting Attorney General Pam Bondi. We are learning brand new details at this hour. Welcome back as America Reports heads into hour 2. I'm Sandra Smith in New York.
Scary stuff, Sandra. I'm John Roberts in Washington. The 29-year-old Minnesota man is accused of putting out a $45,000 hit on the Attorney General. It all started on TikTok when a post with the bounty started going viral before setting off a swift federal investigation.
And the suspect's rap sheet is long, and his online activity reveals ties to anarchist symbolism and anti-government literature.
Our justice correspondent David Spunt live here in Washington. What else are we learning, David, about the suspect?
Well, John, he is charged with threatening Attorney General Bondi in a TikTok post. According to authorities in this affidavit that we just saw a couple of hours ago, unsealed recently, he allegedly offered a $45,000 bounty. In the post, there's a photo, and this was on TikTok, a photo of the Attorney General with a sniper red dot, and it reads, "Wanted Pam Bondi, reward $45,000, dead or alive, preferably dead." That's a quote.
Wow.
He is in custody. Additionally, his TikTok page had anarchist symbols, according to the affidavit filed.
Now, if this had been, you know, a conservative, you know, Ratchet Quack would have been out, baby. You see what I'm saying? It's those white boys over there on the right. It's the white boys on the right. You haven't heard not one person on the left or not one news station. I didn't even know this actually happened, right? And that's because they're not concerned about this because they actually don't care. And preferably, most of them don't like Pam, don't like Trump. They don't like them at all. So they're not concerned about this at all. And I just find it outrageous because at the end of the day, if this was a Democrat, we'd be talking about it, all right, as we should, because there should absolutely be no reason that we have this type of violence going on. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I just thought this was outrageous, you guys. What's going on to everybody that just pulled up? So at the end of the day, this right here just proves that the left does not care. The left would rather everybody be wiped out that's on the right, and they would rather have, their people back in office. All right. So that's what I think. All right. That's what I think about all this. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know. What do you think about all this? What did you think about, a random TikToker putting a hit out on the, Pam Bondi? And I just don't know what you all are thinking. Okay. Like, you're not going to get locked up. Like, you're not going to jail for this. However, they're just that nuts. All right. And then let me know what you think about the other nuts, which is, the nuts on the street of California, talking about illegal aliens and all this other stuff. You can't make this stuff up. Let me know what you think about it. That is our shots. We had a little shot. We poured it up a little bit. Now we're getting ready to get into our main topics. But before we do, I want to recognize my people as always with the super chats. Kim 1, thank you so much with the super chat. I appreciate you. Answer like those are how Congress is going to get away with convincing a lot of taxpayers that every U.S. taxpayer owes 110 to 112K, or that every American owes 324 towards the U.S. national debt. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't owe any of that. Because see how, and thank you, Kim 1, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. I really do. Here's the thing. We're not supposed to have, and I keep saying this, we're not supposed to have income taxes, okay? We're not supposed to have it. But since we do have it, okay, that's supposed to go to our tax debt. That's in the trillions that we're paying, okay? And then you got Trump bringing in trillions in tariffs, okay? So with all that being said, why do we still have a deficit? And that's because they're overspending. It is absolutely not that we owe that money, okay? They're overspending. Okay. So when you add up all these social programs and things like that, they overspend, and then they try to make up for it by hiking up the taxes. So now you owe these taxes when you don't really owe these taxes. All right. Maryland is doing that on a state level. They're trying to make up for the deficit when they were in a surplus, and now they're trying to make up for it by overtaxing. So it's a tax on everything. Okay. In Maryland, you're getting ready to be taxed on breathing. All right. You breathe too hard outside and you getting taxed. I'm telling you right now. That's how Maryland is rolling. That's how Maryland is rolling. And then if you combine the interest, right? It sits in, all of our tax money goes and sit in the Fed, right? It's creating, you have interest. And most of you don't even get the money that you're supposed to get back. All right. So you have trillions of dollars that people don't get back in taxes, and you have the compound interest on top of it. So you have all of that. Where's the money going? Where is the money going? To keep Joe Biden propped up? I think not. Okay. Absolutely not. To send Kamala to Europe because she has never been? Absolutely not. The Democrats are overspending, preferably with these illegals, preferably with all this other stuff that they have going on, this U.S. aid and all of that. That's why Donald Trump wants to cut all of that out. And actually, he's even on phase 1. Okay. He's even on phase 1 of the whole tax, the IRS phases that he's doing. Like, people are not realizing what he's doing. But as long as the Democrats go ahead and keep this stuff shut down, Donald Trump's just going to keep eating at it, because we are not supposed to be paying these income taxes. It's supposed to be tariff-based, okay? It literally is supposed to be tariff-based. But now the United States runs I think it's 97 to 98% on income taxes. Like, we're funding this stuff. So yeah, get rid of those federal workers, the ones that we need to get rid of, not the essential ones. We need to fund essential federal workers, but ones that just add to bureaucracy, get rid of it, because we don't need to be spending money on stupid stuff. And the federal government doesn't need to be the biggest employer. That's what the private sector is for. Those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for the super chat. Kim 1. You said, I know, but that's not what Congress is saying. We know. But then go ask Congress. Go ask Congress this, right? Ask Congress, when is the last time they've paid taxes? Go look it up. Ask them go ahead, just ask away. When is the last time most of them pay taxes? And see what you come up with. Thank you so much, Kim Wan, for both super chats. I appreciate you. All right, you guys, let's get into it because Congress is quite annoying. All right, let's get into it here. Where we at? Let's get into Brooklyn HAKEEM. All right. If y'all don't know who Brooklyn HAKEEM is Hakeem Jeffries. All right. When he was trying to act, all gangster, when he came outside, when my man rolled up on him in the hallway, he said, you got Brooklyn HAKEEM. Okay. You getting Brooklyn HAKEEM. Well, Brooklyn HAKEEM is back in the news again because he was on Face the Nation this weekend. And Brooklyn HAKEEM decided that he wanted to go ahead and do what he does best, lie. But he wanted to go ahead and talk about how, the Republicans are gerrymandering everything. And so that is the reason for the shutdowns. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The Democrats have the same playbook over and over again. And they don't realize that even the liberal media is getting tired of hearing this, okay? Because it's a crock full of you-know-what. However, let's go ahead and get into Brooklyn HAKEEM Jeffries, talk about what he normally talks about. Nothing. Here we go.
You've been using the term rigged elections in reference to the upcoming midterms. Democrats were appalled when President Trump used language like that. How do you justify using that now? Doesn't that undermine faith for voters? You need to show up.
No, I've been using that term in the context of Donald Trump's unprecedented effort to gerrymander congressional maps in a partisan fashion all across the country in order to rig the midterm elections and deny the ability of the American people to actually decide who should be in the majority as it relates to the House of Representatives.
Democrats are also going through gerrymandering and redistricting.
No. Well, Democrats are going to push back aggressively to make sure that we have fair maps across the country, not partisan gerrymandering, which Republicans have initiated in state after state after state.
You've been using the term rigged elections.
Let's get into that really quick. Okay. So he wants to talk about gerrymandering and all of this other stuff. Here's the thing about it. Hakeem Jeffries, Democrats do that the most. I live in a Democratic state where they don't do anything but gerrymander. Okay. They gerrymander everything to death. And there are 8 seats here in the state of Maryland and 7 of them are Democrats. Okay. That's just what they do. It is what it is. Right. However, Hakeem wants to pass it off as if the people are voting for the ones that the Democrats do, right? And the Republicans are doing it a roundabout rigged way. And they're doing this because they don't think they're going to win the midterm elections, especially with everything that's going on during this shutdown, which is what, for lack of a better, word, CBS reporter was actually doing okay with, pushing back on for once. Okay. I don't know if it's because of all them lawsuits, but they've actually been doing a little better. Little progress with TDS is always great. So now let's get into Hakeem Jeffries talking exactly about this shutdown. The last one was about the election denial and gerrymandering, but let's get into this meat and potatoes of him talking about this shutdown. Okay. Let's hear from Brooklyn HAKEEM.
That's what this fight for us is all about. Republicans have come up with a new conspiracy theory every week for the last 6 weeks. The Democratic position.
I want to come back to healthcare in a moment, but the Treasury Secretary accused you of playing politics personally. Mm-hmm. And I know that your Democratic whip, Catherine Clark, said on Fox this past week that shutdowns are terrible, but as she put it, it's one of the few leverage items Democrats have. Do you think Democrats are gaining from this fight?
No, our focus continues to be on driving down the high cost of living for everyday Americans. Donald Trump and Republicans promised that they would Lower costs on day one. We know costs haven't gone down. They're going up. Inflation is moving in the wrong direction. The Trump tariffs have made life more expensive for the American people to the tune of thousands of additional dollars per year. We know that electricity bills are through the roof. Housing costs are too high. Childcare costs are too high. Groceries too expensive. And now tens of millions of Americans are at risk of having their premiums explode. In some cases, by $1,000 to $2,000 per year. That's what this fight for us is all about. Republicans have come up with a new conspiracy theory every week for the last 6 weeks. The Democratic position, Margaret, has been clear. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
Well, that was the quote from the whip herself when she said leverage. But I hear you on rising healthcare costs, but the immediate term, people aren't getting paid. 750,000 federal workers are on unpaid leave. 80% of the folks who work on our nuclear program are included in that figure. The Agriculture Secretary said there will be delays in food stamps for many of the 41 million people who rely on SNAP. And then at airports across the country, half of the flight delays, according to the Transportation Secretary, are because of staffing shortages. This pain is real now. So is there a point at which it becomes too great to justify continuing the shutdown?
Well, there is an urgent need to reopen the government, which is why we continue to demand that Republicans sit at the negotiating table so we can enact a spending agreement that's bipartisan in nature. That's what we've called for from the very beginning.
But the Republicans are saying they won't do that until you pass the funding bill, the clean funding bill that already passed the House. Why can't Democrats in the Senate get on board with that?
Tell them why.
Well, we've made clear, and I'm thankful for the leadership of Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats, that we were not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people in an environment where Republicans have already enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country. There's the possibility that Medicare could face a $536 billion cut, the largest cut to Medicare in history, if Congress doesn't act by the end of this year because of what Republican policies have done in their one big ugly bill. And now they refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. That impacts working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans throughout the country, including in rural America.
Well, they haven't refused. Leader Thune said he'd even put that up for a vote if you open the government first. But
that white liberal lady was getting in it, okay? And she's absolutely correct. And see, this is where, you know, him and Kamala are kind of similar, right? Because they all like to have their talking points. The only thing is, you know, HAKEEM actually listens a little bit and he doesn't say too much stupidness. However, here's the thing about what HAKEEM is talking about, okay? Brooklyn HAKEEM, okay? What he's talking about is the fact that they've already passed a CR bill, which is the same one, the exact same one that they've been voting on, okay? Just so they can keep it open and then they can fight about all that other little stupid stuff. And HAKEEM knows this. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, he knows this, okay? HAKEEM knows this. He absolutely knows this. But he wants to play like he's dumb, okay? And he knows that if, you know, they go and open this government, they only need 7 Democrats to open the government. All the Republicans have voted for it. They only need 7, okay? 7 Democrats, just 7. They have 2, okay? John Fetterman and another lady, okay? But they don't want to do it, okay? Because they want this as leverage, which is what, you know, the nice white liberal lady told us, okay? They are using it as leverage, but it's not going to work out the way they think it's going to work out. That's why they're so concerned about the gerrymandering, all right? However, the Democrats need to be concerned about their constituents and these unions that voted for them because the unions are on the Democrats' neck. Watch this.
With MSNBC's Kevin Fry on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers are facing growing calls to end the shutdown. Kevin, what's the latest?
Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dramatic call from that union of federal employees representing hundreds of thousands with a statement today saying, among other things, that it's time for our leaders to start focusing on how to solve problems for the American people rather than on who is going to get the blame for a shutdown that Americans dislike. Because when the folks who serve this country are standing in line for food banks after missing a second paycheck because of this shutdown, they aren't looking for partisan spin. They're looking for wages that they earned. They go on to essentially say that Congress needs to pass, in their view, a clean CR. Now, when Speaker Mike Johnson was asked about this today, he certainly kind of leaned into this. In fact, we saw several top Republicans on the House side take advantage of this statement and basically point to it, saying, Democrats, the ball is in your court now, whether or not you decide to act on this. Johnson saying, I certainly hope this is a turning point in the shutdown, noting that this is a union, after all, that is weighing in this sort of way, and saying that the shutdown is a charade. Now, of course, at the same time, I have in recent weeks spoken to Democrats representing districts with heavy populations of federal employees, and their message that they say they've been receiving from federal workers was keep up the fight.
And this is where MSDNC 13 goes off the rails, okay? Because here it is, you have an actual union and their statement saying, y'all need to get this together. We voted for the Democrats. You need to get it together, okay? You have an actual statement with actual members of a union saying, fix this. And then he goes off on a tangent where we spoke to, Democratic lawmakers, and they say the people in their area say, keep fighting. That's BS. That is BS. That's why they call BS now, okay? They're no longer called MSDNC. Okay? BS every day. That's all they talk about. BS now, BS later, BS all the time. Because at the end of the day, they know exactly what's going on. Okay? Those lawmakers are not, they do not have people saying fight. Okay? You have 43 million Americans, okay, who, I wouldn't say all 43 are Americans, but I digress. But you have 43 so-called million of Americans who actually need these benefits. Okay. And you say, oh, these people are going to starve, they're going to die, all of this stuff. Okay. Well, if they are, how come you just won't open the government? That way they can at least have that. You can go and argue about their health care and subsidies that were supposed to end anyway, because Democrats love to put something in place and never put a sunset clause. Okay. They love to do that. They're such neocons, okay? They talk about everybody else, but they love to put a policy in place and never have a sunset clause for it. Gotta love them. So that's what they were saying, right? But here's the thing. If they wanted to do something, even on a state level for their people, they can. All right, because you remember Kamala and them talking about, oh, Donald Trump was, in the way. We had a spending bill. We could have closed the border with that, but he told them to vote no. Okay, but you're the president. You can just do what, just write it. Do what you want. Okay. The auto pen. Let the auto pen do it. Nope, nobody decided to do it. So Donald Trump came in and he did it on the first day. Well, the governors are essentially the presidents of the states. They can also do these things. And this is exactly what Governor Youngkin decided to do versus a Democratic governor, unfortunately, for my state, Governor Westmore. Watch this.
Never seen a more potent display of the difference between Republicans and Democrats than what you're about to see.
Let's see it.
To not pay the military, to not pay TSA, to not pay air traffic controllers, and to interrupt SNAP benefits for Virginians most in need.
Glenn Youngkin, Republican governor of Virginia.
For benefits like
Watch
SNAP
this.
to run
Pay
out.
attention
so
to
he
this.
says the state will pick up the bill for meal assistance.
The state of Virginia is going to step in and cover the benefits for a while. We have the financial resources to do it for a while, not forever.
Meanwhile,
wow, they have the financial resources to do it. You know why? Because they have all of our revenue.
Yeah.
We have sent all of our revenue to Virginia. Their coffers are full with our revenue. Now, compare what Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin is doing. He's going to make sure that those people have SNAP, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on that. Compare that to Governor Moore. This is Governor Moore, Democrat governor of Maryland, how he's approaching this.
Moore put out a statement. He says the Trump administration hasn't guaranteed states will be reimbursed for covering federal expenses like food benefits, which has been the case during previous shutdowns. The governor says, quote, "We will continue to do everything in our power to ensure the federal government follows the law and provides funding for the critical services that our families, our children, and our veterans rely on."
Now, this is interesting, and I've been telling you this for the longest time. Democrats are not your friends. For those people, oh, the Democrats are helping us. I have been telling you, if you listen to my program, I've been telling you over and over and over again, when you people are like, oh, well, we're going to provide expanded SNAP benefits and we're going to pay your rent and everything, they do that for moments like this. This is why they push those things, because this is leverage. Like the Democrats have explicitly said, this is leverage. And in a case where you have a Republican governor in Virginia, his priority is like, look, these people need these benefits. Let's get them fed. Governor Moore is thinking, how do we blame this on Trump?
That's all Governor Moore thinks about. He has TDS, okay? He's already bold, so I don't, he's already in the bald-headed reasoning club. But he has TDS, okay? Like he has an extreme case, and he thinks that he's going to be able to run for president and all that other good stuff later. Nobody's voting for that man. That man can't balance a budget to save his bald-head life, all right? At the end of the day, that man has to go. I can't wait because he squandered our surplus here in Maryland, okay? But it doesn't stop there, because you remember what Ratchet Crockett told us? Ratchet Crockett told us that, baby, we're not getting any votes, okay? Democrats are going to let these people starve.
Because ain't nobody come at me and ask me what the people in my district need.
Right.
I cast my no vote. Because ain't nobody come at me and ask me what the people in my district need.
Right. Voted no.
They didn't ask me what would look good for those in South Dallas.
Right.
They didn't ask me about that. So listen, I got people that I serve that are counting on me to do their work and to be their voice and not work for him. I don't work for him. He can't hire me. He can't fire me. The people that elected me in Texas 30 did. So unless you want to have a conversation with me about the priorities for the people in my district, baby, you're not getting this vote. Listen, he can do whatever he wants to do, but this will be on the Republicans. I need people to tune in and learn how to count and learn who controls what. If you want things to function, maybe put the Democrats back in control. Now, I know people got beef with the Democrats.
I want you to pay attention to that. Maybe if you want things to function, put the Democrats back in control. I just told you, you heard HAKEEM, Brooklyn HAKEEM, okay? You heard him earlier tell you or discuss about the leverage, all right? That's essentially what she's saying. Brooklyn HAKEEM and Ratchet Crockett are on the same page as most Democrats. If you want things to go well, put us back in. They think this is an actual strategy for the midterms. They're going to let you starve. They're going to let you feel the pain when they could just 7 votes, okay? Remember when Barry said, hey, you shouldn't hold hostage the government. You shouldn't hold the government hostage. The Republicans came to the table and opened the government back up and went back to arguing. But no, Ratchet Crockett and her wig cannot have of it, okay? Brooklyn HAKEEM, he cannot have it, okay? He cannot have it. And that's what she's talking about. The same thing that Brooklyn HAKEEM's talking about.
The Democrats back in control. Now, I know people got beef with the Democrats not being as aggressive as we should have been, especially since we got him over here just running ramshot over everything. But at a very minimum, you can always count on there being level-headedness and responsibility when it comes to Democrats, because they care about federal workers. They care about our constituents and making sure that those services are still available, because when the government shuts down, then that impacts our constituents directly. It does.
Shocker. Duh. Like Ratchet Crockett always acts like she's telling us something profound. That affects our constituents. No, you don't say. We didn't know that. Yeah, that's the point. That's why we're saying come back to the table. Because, baby, it's affecting your constituents. Why wouldn't you want to come back to the table? Okay? I have never seen pants like that in my life. What does she have on? Lord, just disheveled. The point of it all is this is what these people are willing to do. They're willing to let you starve. They're willing to let you suffer. Okay, they're willing to let planes fall out of the sky, as one Democrat actually said, and CNN had the galls to actually put it on an article, which I'm surprised about. But they're willing to let all of this stuff happen so you can put them back in office. You wanted to function right, put us back in power. That's what she said. That's what Baby said. Okay, that's what she said. Ratchet self. However, last but not least, okay, I just want to play a little bit of what Mike Johnson had to say about all of this. Here we go.
So I brought you a little visual aid here to just remind everybody what the simple facts are. Four simple facts here.
She said
the Democrats are required to open the government. They keep saying Republicans are in charge of government. We aren't, not in the Senate. 60 votes control the Senate, not a bare majority. And so point number one, Democrat votes are required to open the government. Point number two, they refuse to do it. They have now voted 12 times to keep the government closed.
That's a fact.
And they'll have another chance today or tomorrow, maybe multiple times this week, and we'll see what they do. Now, the third point is very important because they've been trying to confuse the American people. They've tried to say this is a fight about health care or this or that or any other thing, and it's very simple. They put this on paper. They made this their demand in writing in the record of the Senate, and it has not changed. These are just 4 subpoints there under fact number 3, but there's many more. But among the things they're demanding, this is what the Democrats in the Senate are demanding to reopen the government. They want to give $200 billion in health benefits to illegal aliens and non-citizens, paid for by U.S. taxpayers. That is in their proposal. They want billions in wasteful programs to be returned to foreign countries. So we stopped these things. They want to turn it all back on. They're demanding that we do all that.
Of course.
To get the government open for hardworking Americans again. Of course. They want to give $500 million to left-leaning news organizations, and they want to cut $50 billion from rural hospitals. We will not do those things. And they know that very well.
Absolutely, they know this. They know it, and they know it makes absolutely no sense. We don't like NPR, okay? The most I've ever watched with NPR is the Tiny Desk, okay? When Juvenile was on there. I love Juvenile. Outside of that, okay, we don't watch NPR. Who watches NPR? You would fall asleep. I'm telling you. The best thing about PBS is the children programs, okay? And those you can find on YouTube. So, I mean, I don't understand. I absolutely don't understand. Absolutely not. We're not paying for none of that stuff. Absolutely not. None of that stuff, okay? And then they're saying, oh, well, we need to fund this and that across the we don't need to fund anything unless it's here in America. Okay. Democrats will have a better argument saying, hey, those things you cut, US aid or here, there, we won't open the government unless you put it towards Americans. Okay. You might have an argument, but that's not their argument. Their argument is always for somebody else other than Americans. So absolutely not. And the Republicans have voted a clean CR. They don't even have things in that CR. Okay. It's just a spending bill to keep the government open while they go and argue about stupid stuff they know that they shouldn't be pushing anyway. And they won't do it because it's just like Ratchet Crocker said, baby, you're not getting their votes. You want things to go well, put the Democrats back in office. That's what she said. So, you guys, let me know what you think about all of that, because the Democrats are just a ratchet ball of confusion and they don't plan on doing anything for you anytime soon. Okay? Ratchet Crockett told you, Brooklyn HAKEEM, he told you. Okay? And it's just what they're going to continue doing until they get their way. Do I think it's going to be open by November 1st? Absolutely not. I think they want you to feel how it's going to feel to miss these food stamps and everything else that you get at the first of the month. Okay. I think they might come to a little bit of a bend, maybe the middle of November, but November 1st, I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. So you guys get down in the comments and in the chat and let me know, what do you think about all of that? Because I think it's just absolutely freaking ridiculous. I really do. Let me go ahead and read these super chats. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here we go. CZ, $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Can't balance a budget to save his bald-headed life. You know he can't. Okay. Mika always got me rolling. Thank you. Now, I got a little bit of a beef with you, CJ. I'm going to let you live because you support the platform. But you got a Dallas Cowboys stuff. You got a Dallas. You here in Maryland. You from the DMV. That's not a Redskin. That's not the Ravens. We're going to have to talk offline or something because Cowboys? I don't know. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh man, Mr. Hunter 5150. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you. And Ian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Nothing says we care about the people like holding them hostage. Good look, DEMS. That's exactly what they're doing. They're holding everybody hostage until they get what they want. Nobody likes Republicans. Nobody. You remember in Rush Hour when he said, nobody likes you? He said, I don't care. I'm just here for the girl. The little girl don't like you. Nobody likes the Democrats. Absolutely not. Because they don't do anything but victimhood or something that is around or revolving around holding you down at some point. Like it's never an actual plan to get ahead, right? The very few Democrats that do, they end up becoming Republican. Okay, they end up becoming Republican. Okay, Fetterman, give him about good 2 to 5 years, he'll be Republican. Okay, he'll be Republican because common sense doesn't live over there in liberal land. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Okay, you can't even come to a consensus of having a middle ground to say, okay, let's open the government and fight later. Nope, absolutely not. Nope. So, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate all you guys that super chat, and I appreciate all you guys talking in the chat. Because y'all be having me over here laughing when I be watching these stories. I be seeing y'all in the chat. Hilarious. All of you guys. And thank you to everybody that just pulled up. You know, I appreciate you guys for pulling up. It's Monday. It's Mika Mondays. That's what we're going to start calling this. We're going to start calling this Mika Mondays because the stuff I see on the weekend is just wild. Okay. But nevertheless, let's get into it. What do we have next? We did what? We did Brooklyn Johnny. Oh, Brooklyn HAKEEM. Let's get into these racist Democrats in Virginia. Okay, let's get into it. We have a lot of racism going on in Virginia, but it's not coming from what they like to say, Virginia Confederacy and all this other stuff. Virginia was a slave state. It's not coming from the people on the right, as they would say, when I think the Confederacy was, never mind. However, it's not coming from them. It's coming from the liberals, per usual. Okay. Now, I want to get into this really quick so you can get up to speed on who's running for governor in Virginia. Both people, both candidates. Okay. And then we're going to get into it because this is wild. All right. It's absolutely wild. Here we go.
Virginia voters on either side of the aisle will be picking Virginia's first female governor this year. Acting Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears is now the first Black woman to secure the Republican nomination. Her campaign announced that victory Saturday, saying Earle-Sears is focusing on lowering costs, educational freedom, and public safety. Her opponent is Abigail Spanberger, the first woman to be elected to represent Virginia's 7th congressional district in the U.S. House. Spanberger's team announced she'd clinched the Democratic nomination Thursday, saying she's focusing on defending fundamental rights, protecting Virginia jobs, and standing up to the, quote, chaos in Washington. And Washington is what CBS 6 political analyst Dr. Bob Holsworth says voters will be focused on.
In so many ways, this election will probably be a little less focused on the historic nature of what's going to happen in Virginia and more on whether or not it's going to be a repudiation of Donald Trump.
President Trump lost Virginia by 10 points in 2020 and lost it by almost 6 in 2024.
So this is what he's telling you. He's telling you that instead of focusing on the fact that you have women running for governor that are at the top of the tickets, okay, for a state, okay, especially a Black woman, okay, who's already lieutenant governor that made history doing that, who was a Republican, a conservative that made history doing that, okay, and actually has a Black family, okay, Black husband, Black kids, all of that good stuff, okay, all of that, things that the Black community say they want to see. She has it. She absolutely has it, right? Cool. They're not going to be focused on that because they have too much TDS, okay? And it's not all of Virginia. It is the DMV area, that Alexandria, Fairfax, Cumberland, Ashburn, Woodbridge, Arlington, those areas, Alexandria, all the nice, wide, liberal areas, those areas. The rest of Virginia, because a lot of my family members are from Southern Virginia, South Boston, Halifax, things like that, down there. That's red. That's already red, okay? But the population is up here in the DMV area, all right? So with that being said, I just wanted to give that tad bit to you guys because I wanted you to see who she was. Now, watch this, because this is what Democrats do to Black folk, okay? They don't give you nothing. They just do this. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I swear to God, you can't make it up. That's what she did. That's what she did. Okay. That's what she did. Okay. That's how the white liberal is treated. Okay. That's how she's treated. So let's go over and see how the Black Republican woman is treated. Let's see.
Thank you. Okay, apologies for this speaker.
So if you can't hear what she's saying, okay, the gentleman is telling her that her sign is getting a lot of burn on television. And she said, what, my sign? I don't care. That's what the shrugs is. Like, I don't care. Her sign says, hey, Winsome, if trans can't share your bathrooms, then Blacks can't share my water fountain. And that sign was allowed to be held at the nice white liberal lady that was just dancing with the Black folk. Yeah, that sign was allowed to be held at her rally the entire time. Okay. And when she came inside, they noticed that on TV, it was getting a lot of burn because it makes absolutely no sense. Okay. Abigail, okay, as Winston calls her, Abigail decided that she is for trans and they should be in, the girls' locker rooms. They shouldn't be left out and all this other nonsense. Mind you, I don't care that people want to be trans, but what I do care about is biological men being in somewhere with little girls. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. And I also care about it on a larger level, because if you don't know, just this past weekend, okay, esports has their championships where like all the girl gamers come, and do their things. And guess who won the championship? Two biological males who are trans. They mopped the floor with these women in gaming. Okay. So you're trying to hold a space for women, and we have to let biological men in. I'm telling you, that is the definition of misogyny. I have to let men in something that's for me. That makes absolutely no sense. But the left never makes any sense. That sign, absolutely racist. But it was allowed to be held up because the liberals don't find anything wrong with it because this is what they are. All right? Cool beans. Let's continue. So now the head brother in charge decided that he was going to go out and support the liberal white woman. Okay? The head brother in charge. None other than Barry. Okay? AKA, I changed my name to Barack Obama.
Virginia's elections are some of the most important in the country this year, and I am proud to endorse
I'm sure you are.
Abigail Spanberger for governor. Republican policies are raising costs on working families so billionaires can get massive tax cuts. As governor, Abigail will stand up for Virginia families. She'll work to build an economy that works for everyone, not just big corporations and the wealthy. But it won't happen without you. Every vote counts, so turn out and vote for Abigail Spanberger for governor on November 4th.
Absolutely not. If y'all in Virginia on November 1st on the weekend, do not vote for that woman, okay? Do not. I don't care what Barry tells you, all right? Now, it's funny that the head brother didn't tell y'all or didn't scold y'all about going out and voting for the sisters. That's what he told y'all with Kamala, okay? The black lady who's not a black lady, but is a black lady. That's what he told y'all. Y'all remember this?
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
That's right.
Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
With the brothers.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you,
Grew up like us. Grew up like you. Okay.
went to college with you,
Went to college with ya.
understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes
with
from those experiences.
what? The greens in the bathtub?
Said to work harder,
I've never seen black women do that.
do more, and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Child, the brothers are not listening. Okay. But he didn't scold the brothers to go out there for Winsome. Okay. He didn't tell the brothers to go take that lady's sign. Okay. He didn't tell the brothers to even mobilize around her. You know what he told the brothers? He told the brothers to go ahead and go tell one of the biggest organization for colored people to go hover around Abigail, the white liberal lady. Here we go.
So the NAACP is endorsing the liberal white woman in Virginia over the conservative Christian faith-filled black woman in Virginia.
That's
for,
true.
for Kennedy.
Yes.
The NAACP needs to be disbanded. This is an organization that I have no respect for, that at one time did so much for the African American experience in this country, has now become a laughingstock and a joke, has become an organization with no morals, no values, and doesn't represent the civil rights movement that were led by mostly a lot of Christian ministers. It has become a Marxist organization that endorses transgenderism, that destroys the black community, that endorses everything demonic and evil about that's toxic about the black community.
That's a fact. Okay. And here's the proof. Here's Abigail. Okay. Here's Abigail. See that? NAACP. See that? Oh, look. Selfies. Okay. Look at that. That was just on the 24th. Oh, look at that. The brothers. Okay. Okay. All the brothers. They all there. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. All right. So again, that is what we're dealing with here in the state of Virginia. Okay. In the DMV area. All right. I am from DC. I live in Maryland and I can see Virginia from my house. Literally. Okay. Just like Russia. So with that being said, I'm aware of the politics in this area. I'm aware of how different groups get treated in this area. And I'm telling you right now, when you let these liberal Democrats speak for you, okay? And I'm talking about for any group, white, black, Latino, when you let these liberal Democrats speak for you, they never do what they're supposed to do. They never do. They never do. Virginia used to be a great place that you wanted to send your kids for school. I'm telling you, Virginia used to be up here. It went blue, and the schools was like, who? I'm telling you right now, y'all got to vote red. So if you're in the Virginia area, vote this weekend and then vote on the 4th. You gotta get Virginia back red. Because when I was growing up, Virginia was red, okay? Virginia, you used to be scared to do something in Virginia because you knew you was getting locked up, okay? You knew that if somebody saw you doing something in Virginia, you was getting it. Had to come all the way to Virginia to pick you up. You knew you was getting it, okay? But at the same time, you know, you understood that they had values in Virginia. And Maryland was the same until the Democrats just did a sweep of this area. DC has always been liberal, but there used to be pockets of conservatism because of the surrounding states. Now, please, okay, Pennsylvania is liberal. Delaware, Virginia, and Maryland. Can't get away from it. It's a whole pocket. And then you drive up 300 miles, 3 hours from here to New Jersey and New York, even more liberal. You can't make it up. So, it's wild. But you guys, you got to go out and vote, okay? So you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments. I want to see what you have to say. I see y'all in the chat. Y'all are wild. That's right. The good old days. The good old days. Yep. You grew up in Prince William County? Yep. Used to be, it's so nice. Virginia, so nice. King George, all of that, so nice. Ashburn, where the money is, it's nice. But it's just liberal now. It's wild. But let me know what you think, okay, you guys? All right, let me get to some of these super chats before we get into our last subject here. All right. King T420 SCC. I want to know what that is, okay? Because that sounds like a barcode. Let me know what that is. But thank you, King, for super chatting. The 199 super chat. Do your thing, Mika. Bag chasers on their come up. I appreciate you. Thank you. And then we got Clay Display, $5 super chat. Mika on fire as usual, like Chuck Brown concerts at Hampton. Keep on winding up. Wind me up, Chuck. Yeah, I love Chuck Brown's music. Thank you so much. Yep. And still get the party going. Run, Joe. I love Chuck Brown. Like TCB, Backyard, Red Essence, Mumbo Sauce. These are all go-go bands, you guys. If you're not from there, you might not know it. I don't know. Some of y'all know it. Okay, I see y'all. Some of y'all know it. Some of y'all know it. And if you from, the East Coast, you might still know it. I know a lot of Florida people know. I know a lot of New York, New Jersey people know it. So you might still know it. Okay. But thank you so much, Clay, for the yeah, it's a DC thing. Thank you so much for the super chats. And thank you also, King, for the super chats. And everybody else that super chatted, I appreciate you. All right, you guys, let's get into this last topic here. Okay, let's get into our cover story, which is MOMDANI. Okay, Vaswami. Okay. Yeah, if y'all don't know, he had a rap career. Red Essence is the bomb. Y'all know. Yeah, if y'all don't know, MOMDANI had a whole rap career. I am not playing none of that music here because it is trash. It is absolute trash, okay? And I've been plenty of places. I have been to the Middle East. I have been to all types of places, okay? And y'all know me. I'm multicultural and I'm multiracial. So I hear everything. I can vibe with everything. However, MOMDANI's music is trash, okay? Absolute trash. Don't even play it. However, this man who's never had a job, okay, and had a rap career is running for mayor, and he's winning. He's absolutely winning. He's mopping the floor with these regular Democrats, okay? The socialist is mopping the floor with these people. So much so, he has these Democrats running, okay? Like actual Democrats in the state of in the state of New York and New York City, they're running. They don't want no parts of this. Okay. So I want to go ahead and get into this because this was wild when I saw this. All right. They're running to Florida. Florida already knew they were coming. They got ads and everything. They got even a billboard in Times Square. You can't make it up. They knew the socialists would send the people coming. Watch.
It sounds like it is. Good afternoon, Sandra. Realtors in this exclusive area say there's a new sense of urgency for wealthy New York buyers. These are families, empty nesters looking to buy a home like this and gain residency. So some New Yorkers are taking a closer look at Florida's no state income tax, especially as a potential tax hike looms. Raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers has been one of Mamdani's key campaign promises. Luxury real estate agent Johnny Del Preti says this is a main concern.
Yep. The wealthy people out of there.
People, you know, they're paying those taxes, so they really want to know what are they getting for what they're paying. There definitely has been more traffic, more flow through here in regards to showings.
And it's not just the realtors seeing the shift. Local officials say they're feeling it too. The mayor of Boca Raton says the Mamdani effect is real, and he's been fielding calls from worried New Yorkers. In June, the city launched a NewYorkToBoca.com, which has seen thousands of views, also igniting a billboard in Times Square.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Look at it. Billboard in Times Square. These people, they're getting up out of here. They're tired. Okay. And if they're super wealthy, they're going down there to Florida. They're going to buy all that up. Okay. The old ones, they're going to Boca Raton. Okay. The young ones, you know, anywhere like under 45, you know what I mean? Like 18 to 45, they're all going to places like Orlando, St. Pete, Clearwater, things like that. Okay. Florida is about to get a boom. Absolutely. Absolutely. As they should. Because at the end of the day, New York has lost their mind. Okay. They're about to see the biggest rush since the gold rush out in California. Okay. Or maybe even the rush that all of the Californians did, the tech geeks to Texas. Okay. And that's because MOMDANI is wild. Socialism, you guys are wild. Y'all letting these white liberals put y'all in the worst predicament. I swear to goodness. Because that's what it is. It's the white liberals. Just like in Virginia, that's what it is in New York. The white liberals are just beside themselves to vote for this socialist. Okay? You letting the blue hair spectrum ring people tell you who to vote for. Then you're letting the rich white people in the Martha's Vineyards, you know, up there in Niagara Falls, all of these people who don't have to deal with anything. And I don't know if some of you guys knew, MOMDANI has a rent-controlled apartment. His mother is almost a billionaire. Why does he have a rent-controlled apartment? Like, you can't make it up. New York is about to be trash. I lived there. Okay. I went to school in New York. It's wild already. It's about to get worse. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to Queen Hochul. Okay, this woman I can't absolutely stand, who decided that she was going to speak because she wants to attach herself to the movement. Even though she's not a socialist, she doesn't care anything for socialism, but she understands that the progressives are the future of this party. Okay, the regular old school Democrats are done. Okay, that's why Brooklyn Hockey, he didn't want to endorse Mamdani, but he had to. All right, because his constituents are endorsing it. So let's get into Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. Let's get into her and see what she had to say about everything that's going on.
This is about this November's election, but take that energy, that passion, and take it into 26 so that we can take back the House of Representatives, take the Senate, and take back our country. With your help, we will elect Zohran, and we take back America. Thank you, Queens. Thank you, New York. I love you guys.
Now, as you see in the back, universal child care, freeze the rent, fast and free, everything free, other people's money. Okay, that's nice when you're trying to do investments, but it's not nice when you're talking about it for housing. Okay, Cuba tried this. Okay, Cuba is struggling. I digress. So the New York Post the next day asked her, what did she think about people that were in the audience chanting when she did this speech? What did you think about them saying tax the rich? And this was her response. Here we go.
Given the reception you received last night at Zohran's rally where people were chanting tax the rich, are you going to hold the line on raising taxes, even if it means losing an endorsement or getting a primary challenge?
I couldn't hear what they were chanting. I thought they were saying "Let's go Bills." I wasn't sure. I mean, when you're up there, I heard some noise. I heard a lot of cheers, but later on, it became clear to me that I know there's a passion for that. I mean, I went in there as the leader of the Democratic Party, whose job it is to unify behind the Democratic nominee. I love the energy out there. I told them that, and I want to do is bottle all that up, use it in a few days, but take that to Long Island and the Hudson Valley and make sure that we can stop the insanity that's happening now while we're in the minority, while we don't have the power, the levers of power in Washington. I want to win back the House through New York. And what I saw in that stadium was refreshing and energizing to know we can harness all that, to be on the same team, and to make sure we can do a lot of great things for the people of this state and indeed the country. So no, it's a great event. I enjoyed being there.
So would you change your mind about taxes?
No. Because of that event?
Because of that and about him endorsing you?
Well, I didn't ask him for his endorsement. That's the only reason he hasn't. They want to know my timeline, so let's get through this election. Let's let the focus be on your race. I have a lot of time to roll out my endorsements.
Okay.
There'll still be many that I'll be proud of. So that's unrelated to the event. I want to be there as the leader of the party and say, we have a lot of voices in this party. Let's pull it together. Let's win this election and on to 26.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Do y'all believe her? But you see what I'm saying, right? She's attaching herself to Zohran because she sees the excitement. She sees the movement. She sees all of that. She absolutely sees it. So yeah, no. Nothing over there is genuine. Absolutely nothing. She just sees an opportunity to get these votes. Okay. She said the same thing, the leverage, they'll get back the House because they want to start making rules on, these laws, that money that was taken by Donald Trump. I'm telling you, y'all better not let these people in. You let the Democrats back in, we are done. Finito. You thought it was bad in the last 4 years under Kamala and them. Wait, wait till Zohran get in there, and then the likes of his type of people, more of those AOCs, okay, those nut jobs like that, more of the Ratchet Crockett's who really don't care, okay, because she's getting money, so she doesn't really care. Just yeah, Spanberger and all of them, okay. But let's move on. Let's go on to his rally, okay. We saw Kathy and what she had to say at the rally. Now let's see what another nut job, low IQ socialist says, okay, while channeling her Rasputia Letitia James type of speech. Let's get into AOC. Here we go.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a vision to build the freest, toughest, and greatest city on earth. This city was built by
I can't. Like it was all the bouncing, and it wasn't genuine because she messed up on a couple of lines. It's just like, but then like, how you gonna do Latinos like that? Like, how you gonna do Latinos like that? You know what she said? Oh, it was built on Latinos coming for a better life. I was like, oh, you don't have a pitch for the Latinos. Girl, sit down. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. This is what they want, though. Okay, they want these nut jobs. They want these socialists. They want people like this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, and if the crazy AOC, okay, Jenny from the block, who's not actually from the block, who was raised in the suburbs, however, if this wasn't enough, Colonel Sanders was out there too. You can't make it up. They brought out all the big guns. Colonel Sanders was out there, and this is what he had to say. Here we go.
These are not normal times. This is not a normal election.
Oh.
This election takes place in a moment in American history when we have a rigged economy with more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had in the history of our country.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Politically, a victory here in New York will give hope and inspiration to people throughout our country and throughout the world.
He's correct about one thing. A victory in New York will give inspiration, but not for the rest of the country. It will give inspiration to those progressive and those progressive policies. Bernie, okay, aka Colonel Sanders here. It's funny that he talks about all of this money, right? When he was flying around in these jets, when he's the main one talking about Green New Deal and green this, green that. But it's okay to do jets when, you know, we all know what jets do to the air quality, but I digress with that. And then, you know, the oligarchy, it used to be the millionaires. Now it's the billionaires because he's a multimillionaire. You can't make this stuff up. These people are doing the very things that they tell you that you shouldn't like. Okay? So now y'all hate billionaires. Y'all don't like millionaires no more. I mean, well, you like millionaires. You just don't like billionaires now. Mind you, it's more millionaires than it is billionaires. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. So now that he's in that class, oh, no. It's not them. And let's not forget, I don't know if you guys saw it, but let's not forget what they had to say on The View, okay? Because one of the ladies on The View, which I was absolutely surprised about, but one of the ladies on The View, the one who thinks she's an independent blonde hair lady, she says, well, people are not getting paid. Why don't Congress not get paid? Oh, no. This is Colonel Sanders. Oh, no. We can't do that. You know, some of these people have kids. These are young folks. The people that are starving right now that y'all are allowing to starve have children. Okay, these are young people. Most of the people are 45 and under. Okay, you're older. You're younger Generation X, your older millennials, your younger millennials, and Gen Z. What about them? But you continue to get paid. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is what I mean. But yet, these people overwhelmingly will vote for this nonsense. And last but not least, this crowd was overwhelmingly white. Okay? You saw a sprinkle here and there, but New York is like 20-30% black. Whether you're talking about Black Americans or the Black immigrants that come here. I rarely saw any of them. I rarely saw any of them in that crowd. So that's telling me who, again, is pushing this nonsense. Okay? The same people who are pushing it in Virginia. The white liberals. They hurt everybody. White people, black people, other races. It don't matter. Because they don't care. They absolutely don't care. Last but not least, let's get into Mamdani Ramaswamy. Okay? Let's get into him. Because this was his speech. I'm going to let it play. Because I want you to understand exactly what we're getting into. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They love George Soros. Love George Soros. Okay? Love him. But want to talk about somebody helping the Nazis. Child, you can't make it up. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Over the last 9 months, we have witnessed the largest wealth transfer from the poor to the rich in history. Trump is like Andrew Cuomo, beholden to billionaires and oligarchs.
Like your mama.
And like Cuomo, he has bent to their will. The desolation left in his wake has been staggering. Tens of millions of Americans, including millions right here in New York, will lose their Medicaid, their Medicare, their SNAP benefits. Because of Trump's corruption, children will go to sleep hungry. The sick will die. Any way you measure it, our lives have gotten worse. I think of the pastor I sat with just a few weeks ago in East Flatbush. He told me how in September, a young woman from his congregation approached him after church.
What'd she say?
She told him she was facing a deportation order.
She here illegally?
He knew her well, and he knew the work she did with young people with disabilities in this city.
Was she here illegally?
She told him she couldn't afford an attorney and had no one else.
So she's here illegally.
She asked if he would go with her to 26 Federal Plaza. He said yes.
Okay.
Sitting in the courtroom, the judge told her to be ready to leave in the clothes she was wearing. He asked her if she had said goodbye to her family.
Did she?
She began to cry. And then, in what felt like a miracle, the judge changed his mind.
Oh, he did it?
He decided he would put her TPS order before the deportation order. For a minute, it seemed as if the danger had passed. But the pastor knew that ICE stood outside. They did not care about a court order because they do not care about the rule of law.
Okay.
He turned to a few court watchers in the room and asked them to go outside first. He asked another man to hold the elevator. He picked up the young woman under her arms, opened the doors, rushed her past ICE agents.
Oh, he did.
Into the elevator and down into a waiting car before speeding off back.
I need to know if he's arrested, because that sounds like that lady that helped that other criminal get away. So that's what we're doing now? Because anytime we have to go to jail, nobody helps us. Nobody holds the elevator. And what? This is what they're doing in New York. This is what they're doing. Absolutely not.
Back to Brooklyn.
Nice, do your thing. Go to Brooklyn. Madame is snitching. He's in Brooklyn.
Through it all, her feet had never even touched the ground. He told me that it felt like the Underground Railroad.
No, he
and
didn't.
Still, he knew she was anything but safe. We are living in the times that we read about.
That man, and to all of you New Yorkers who are black that want to vote for this man, did you just hear what that man said? He said, and I quote, that felt like the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad. So, wait. Black people who were enslaved, who didn't ask to come here, who didn't come here illegally, you know, or in the words of Malcolm X, Plymouth Rock landed on us, is the same as somebody that came here knowing they were breaking the law, knowing that they hadn't even attempted to get their paperwork while they were here, okay? Under Kamala, you had 4 years, okay? Kamala and them were not bothering you. You could have got your stuff together then. You didn't attempt to because you thought the Democrats were just going to let you slide. And all of a sudden, now that you have to pay for what you've been doing illegally, now we got to sneak you out. We got to give you due process using our court dollars, using probably an attorney that we're paying for you, and you get snuck out and somebody sneaks you back to Brooklyn, okay? You probably over there with Brooklyn HAKEEM in his district, and you get to be touted the same way somebody that was enslaved. These people are absolutely the F out their mind. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make it up. And y'all gonna vote.
I know that for many of us, when we look back at moments in history that rhyme with today, where tyranny loomed and the state imposed violence with sinister glee, we ask ourselves what we would have done. We need not wonder. That time is now. And I am proud to look out onto this crowd at New Yorkers who, amidst this despair, have continued to believe in a world better than this. With every block walked, every petition signature earned, you have refused to normalize a politics of cruelty, of greed, of exploitation. You have asserted your power.
Y'all in New York are about to get an awakening like none other. That man is touting people that have come here and drained New York's tax dollars. People that have come here and have taken homes away from white Americans, Black Americans, Latino Americans, all of that. Immigrants who have come here legally, done it the right way, had to come from Jamaica, had to come from, Dominican Republic, all of them who had to come here and get the papers the right way, the Cubans, everybody that had to come here and do it the right way, had to get cars, this, visa, that, had to, work, had people following them around, make sure they were where they were supposed to be, had to do all of that. And he's caping for people who did it the illegal way and have taken resources from everybody. You staying in 5-star hotels for free, saying that you don't like the food. And go back to Mexico, go back to Honduras, go back to Venezuela. But you don't want to do that. You know why? Because you understand the benefits that these Democrats have been giving you. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we have people that will vote for this, that we have people who will put these people before American citizens. You have veterans laying on the ground in California, here in DC. And the DC area has some of the highest homeless vets. Okay. In California, they call them the unhoused. They all over. All over. You don't have money for that, but you got money for gang members. You got money to give to, illegal families in Chicago. It's wild. It's wild. And y'all gonna let Zohran Mamdani, okay, Baswami, y'all gonna let that man, okay, who is another greens in the tub, okay, who is had the nerve to call himself an African American, like somebody else, had the nerve to call himself that, just so he can appeal to you, talking about, oh, I used to rap, I used to do all this stuff. Like, this is what the liberals do. And this one is one of the worst types because he's not even a regular liberal. That man is a whole socialist, communist, Marxist, whatever other is you can put on top of it. All the while being a whole capitalist because his entire family are capitalists. His entire family is in Hollywood. Okay, he comes from the upper echelon of the Indian class. Okay, they have a caste system. He comes from the top, just like Kamala and her mama and her daddy. This makes absolutely no sense. I don't get it. Why are we as Americans supporting this nonsense? Why? 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 I can tell you where that money could go. Kids that could use that money. Native kids, white kids, black kids that could use that money to get a leg up. Okay? I don't support victimhood, but damn it, if we're going to give our tax dollars to somebody, give it to Americans, preferably American children. Let them decide what school they can go to without having to go to the ran down schools, that's in their area. Or build up those schools, get better teachers, teachers that aren't Trump deranged and liberal, that actually want to teach your kids, that don't want to give them new math, that don't want to pay them such a low wage that they don't even care that your kids are on a fourth grade level of reading all the way through high school. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is what y'all voting for. And I hope New Yorkers that vote for this man get everything they voted for. Just like I'm getting what I voted for with Donald Trump. I'm absolutely getting it. I hope you New Yorkers that vote for that man get everything you're asking for. I hope you do. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I hope you get it. Don't run down to Florida. Stay up there. Don't run down here in the DMV area. Stay up there. Okay? Stay up there. Don't even run over to the Midwest. Stop bothering Detroit. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't go to Indiana. Don't bother those folks. Don't bother the nice folks in Iowa and Oklahoma. Don't bother those people. Don't bother the nice people in Texas. They got enough of you liberals. Okay? Absolutely ridiculous. But this is where we're at. This is exactly where we're at. They are going to tax the rich. And as you can see, everybody knows that they're coming. So they're already making plans to move. It's the poor people or the middle class workers or the working people. Hell, it might be even some of the upper class people because in New York, you can make $1 million and you still poor. All of those people, you're not going to be able to leave as easy. Why would you do this to yourself? I don't know. I absolutely don't know. Socialism sounds nice until it isn't. Socialism sounds nice until you're eating out the back of a garbage truck. An actual garbage truck rolling down the street like they do in Venezuela. That's socialism. Socialism is nice until you're in 2080 and it still looks like 2025. Socialism is nice until that happens. It's wild. But as I always say, I could be wrong. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Mamdani Baswami. Okay. Let me know what you think about him and his speech. I wanted to play that speech because I wanted you to actually see what that man is actually saying. That's what he's saying. Okay. I wanted you to see what Bernie is endorsing. I wanted you to see what crazy AOC is endorsing. I wanted you to see what the Democrat that doesn't even care about white, black, Indian, nobody. Okay. Hoku don't care about nobody but Hoku. But I wanted you to see what she's even pushing because she wants their votes. Democrats only care about power. Everything we spoke about today was about power. Barack and the NAACP supporting the people in Virginia, power. AOC and all of those people, the progressives, the Democrats, power. HAKEEM Jeffries, okay, Brooklyn, yeah, power. That's all they care about. Ratchet Crockett, power. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. But you're going to keep voting for them. You're going to keep voting for them. And when New York looks totally like my thumbnail, don't say that the conservatives didn't tell you so. So, you guys, thank you for pulling up. I saw about almost 700 people in here. I'm surprised. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love these Mika Mondays. Thank you so much. Yeah, but thank y'all for pulling up and listening to me rant, because that's what it really be. Because I can't believe that people are this ignorant to a lot of this stuff. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But this is where we're at. You guys, November is coming up. Vote these people out. Vote them out. Get them out. Get them out. I don't know if y'all can do nothing about, yeah, I don't think you can do anything about, Monami Vaswamy at this point. But these Virginia races, vote these people out. California, no Prop 50. Okay? Don't do it to yourself. Don't let California keep gerrymandering that state to death. It's going to end up like Maryland. Vote these people out. Like, get them out, you guys. Like, honestly and truly, get them out. You guys, thank you so much for spending this hour and a half with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that super chatted. John Yakar, Kim One, CZ, Mr. Hunter, King, and Clay Display. I thank all you guys. Thank you so much. And also thank you to all the people in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Swa Jones, Clay, I see you there. Thank you so much for that super chat. Charlie, Sugar Shane, all you guys, AJ, Kwame, who else? Shadow Dragon, Lady, I see you. I see you, love. Who else? Zach, George, True Patriot, the Genius. I see you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. J000. Maybe I read that wrong. I don't know. Thank you. Alton Nicholas. Who else we got? Russell Cap'n. What the Shadow Dragon. Loud and clear. Yeah. No so way. Ian, George. I see you guys all in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Donna, Zach, Dion, Ead. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Tyrone, Low Life. You guys, thank you so much. Chris, McLovin. Y'all know what? McLovin. Nick J. All you guys, I appreciate you. Larry, thank you so much. Shadow Dragon, I think I said that. Malik. Child. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Empire. All you guys, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate it. I really, really, really do. I see you guys in the building. And let me know, you guys, if you what other days that you actually, I actually really like Monday. So Mondays is good for me. What's another day? Maybe like Saturday. What you think? Beginning of the week, end of the week. Maybe like a Saturday, make a millionaire Monday. You know what? I see y'all. Super Tim, Brothers Keeper. Yeah, you guys get down in the comments and let me know what's another good day. What y'all like? Friday, Saturday? Now, Kwame. Wednesday and Saturday. So Monday, Wednesday, y'all better hold me down. I need to see all of y'all up here. I need to get like my pastors. That I said $2,000. I said 1,000 and another 1,000. Okay, you want Wednesdays and Saturdays? I need to see 1,000 plus another 1,000. Y'all not listening. Oh my God, when that pastor hit that was hilarious. You're not listening. I didn't say 1,200. I said 1,000 plus another 1,000. I want to hear you working on that 800. 1,000 plus another 1,000. Get it together. You guys, thank you so much for pulling up. It's been fun. I appreciate you pulling up on this Mika Monday. You guys, thank you. Hey, Magnificent Gaming. What's going on? It's your girl, Mika, and I'm out. What's that? Oh, Ellie, what's up? I see you. It's your girl, Mika. I'm out.